So as we look towards this stimulus that's needed in this country, more than ever, we're hearing from a number of different people this morning. Former OMB chairman Peter Orszag. We're hearing from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But we're also hearing from Stephen Moore. Now, Stephen Moore, of course, is one of the White House economic advisors. And I don't know what he's smoking. But this is according to Jeff Stein, who's quoted him in a new piece in the Washington Post. White House economic advisor Stephen Moore on the stimulus. I don't see Republicans budging on the blue state bailout, and the economy is doing fine, much better than anyone expected. We think the economy is strong because Trump didn't go along with the deal. The hell are you talking about? These are the people, by the way, the Stephen Moores and the Mark Meadows, who've been in Trump's ear for months, telling him, and Larry Kudlow, telling him that the economy's strong, we're fine. Meanwhile, we have week after week after week showing a recovery that is grinding to a halt, millions of people about to be evicted, people that have just given up looking for work altogether, lower income individuals have had their jobs eradicated, and they're not coming back. 10 million jobs just not coming back. The economy's strong. It's fine. It's fine. It's much better than anyone expected. Did you hear Fed Chief Jerome Powell last week talking about these major problems inside the economy with long-term unemployment? Did you hear him talking about permanent job loss? Did you hear him talking about those people who now have been out of work for so many months? There's a worry about their skills and whether or not they'll be able to go back to work or be rehired because their skills have dwindled. What earth are you on? So that got some people fired up, and most notably Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who tweeted this out in response to that. 30 million people in this country are at risk of eviction. Millions of people are unemployed or underemployed from cutback hours. The economy is not the stock market. We are not doing fine. People need help in red states and blue, and our job is to help everyone. This is basic. This is basic. So what is the Senate doing today? Well, the Senate decided to go home. Because it is Thanksgiving after all. Here's Jake Sherman from Politico Update. The Senate is expected to recess tonight. This was last night, until after Thanksgiving. So they're gone. They've left. That means they will come back the week of November 30th ahead of a December 11th government funding deadline. There has been no progress on a COVID relief deal. Very unlikely one will come together at this point.
Come on,
Way to go, Mitch. Way to go, Mitch. But before he left town, he did manage to take to the Senate floor and talk about Trump withdrawing troops from the Middle East. So here's Peter Orszag, former OMB chair. He had this to say. He was under Obama. He was asked about this, and he said, this pain point is not going away, and it's only getting worse. Listen to this.
On the prospect for stimulus in the short term, there's been more talk of it again, rumors or just positive tones. But should we expect anything to get over the line, in your view, before the end of this calendar year?
I think it's probably unlikely. It should happen. I mean, basically what's been happening in the economy is that when the pandemic hit, we put so much money into people's pockets through the CARES Act that savings rates went up and credit card debt went down. We are now burning through that cushion remarkably quickly. And it is a self-inflicted wound to not be filling the gap to bridge to what we now can expect to be a brighter 2021 because of the advances in science. This is completely self-imposed and unnecessary.
Self-inflicted wound. That's exactly what it is. So Mitch McConnell's pause during the summer, President Trump's inaction during the summer, listening to Larry Kudlow and yahoos like Stephen Moore say that everything's fine, that because we saw nice third quarter numbers, but the underlying fundamentals, as Fed Chief Jerome Powell had been warning, he was actively warning. He said, these numbers are good. However, there's a fundamental fissure in our economy right now that we need to pay attention to. And we didn't, or they didn't. We were paying attention to it right here, beating this drum all summer. And now you're starting to see the effects of this. He asks a good follow-up question here.
In the new year by the Biden administration, or will permanent damage be done? I mean, it's not like we're months away from that moment now.
Yeah, it's still awkward. I think to go 2 or 3 months with nothing, and then let's just be clear, even in January, probably wind up with something that's not adequate or too small is not a great combination. So if we could get something now, great. If we could get something now that was in place as long as the unemployment rate remained elevated, even better. Waiting till January is unfortunate. I think it's probably the most likely scenario. And we're, again, just making a difficult situation worse for no reason.
No reason. Senate goes home, takes their vacation. And we wrote about this in the newsletter today. By the way, you can subscribe to our free newsletters delivered to your inbox first thing in the morning. We had a couple hundred new people sign up overnight, so thank you so much. Welcome. But we wrote about this in the newsletter, talking about the 12 million unemployed people who are going to lose their employment benefits the day after Christmas. What a Christmas present that'll be as the CARES Act expires. The extra $600 per week that had been offered to the unemployed in July, and there have been additional funds from the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Benefits Fund, that is about to end. So the PUA program, which gives jobless aid to freelance and gig workers, those contract workers, that's about to run out. 7.3 million people rely on that income right now. Additionally, a moratorium on evictions will end on December 31st. It's all like a ticking time bomb right now. All of these things. I mean, I went through the laundry list the other day. There's like 12 things that are about to expire. This, all those student loan borrowers, you haven't made a single payment since March. Guess what? Get ready to start making those payments. And we have to wait till January for President-elect Biden to take office to try to enact some sort of executive orders in that amount of time. And we know that among the things that are on that list would be wiping away $50,000 in student loan debt by executive action. Could, by executive action, he extend the eviction moratorium? These are things he could do without Mitch McConnell. Of course, mortgage forbearance, he could extend that. He could also extend the unemployment benefits assistance. So there's a number of things he could do with executive action that he doesn't have to wait for Mitch McConnell, Turtle Boy, who's down there in Kentucky, doing nothing. What do you mean, Clayton?
A disorganized retreat would jeopardize the track record of major successes this administration has worked hard to compile.
Yeah. Really care about the people. Really care about the people. It's infuriating. So there you go on the stimulus. Congress goes home for Thanksgiving. Millions of Americans about to lose their homes. Student loan bills about to come due. People waiting in line at food banks. But your Senate, under leadership of Mitch McConnell, has gone home. So send a letter to him and say thank you. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks, Mitch McConnell. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to smash that like button. And thank you for subscribing and becoming a part of this great community where we try to keep them honest.